It's about to be a new year, and wouldn't it be so nice for 2026 to finally be the year that you can tell somebody, I speak another language? Before we go any further, hello, my name is Elysse, and I am learning 7 languages. But I just want to sit here and tell you some things that really work for me as a language learner, help me make language learning happen, that kind of thing, so that you can start doing them now and bring them into the new year. Because, you know, if you start doing them now, you can build up some momentum. You know what? I am a new year lover. I love nothing more than a rebrand, than a mood board. I don't know, changing my life, getting myself in order. And people are like, oh, why do you wait till a certain day of the year to do it? New Year's is so stupid. New Year's resolution is stupid. We have to do it sometime. Like, I don't know. I hate New Year's haters. Okay, let's get into the video. My first tip to you for the new year is to make a study menu, or you can just use mine. So what a study menu is, if you are a person that spends more time stressing about like how to study your language than actually just doing it, this is going to be ideal for you. So it's just like a list of grab and go language learning activities that you can just pick from and plug into like any busy day. I'm a very busy person, so it's very nice for me. So you can include things like, you know, do a short journal entry, even like just 3 to 5 sentences. Do the shadowing method for 10 minutes. If you don't know what the shadowing method is, look it up, first step. Or, you know, just write 4 to 5 practice sentences with like grammar structure or something like that. So you can put whatever you want on your study menu that you personally like to do. Like some tried and true things that you know you like to do in your target language. Don't force yourself to do stuff that you don't like doing. That's just a good rule for life. You can also divvy it up by energy level, which is what I've done for mine. So you have a section for like low energy activities, medium energy activities, and then like high energy when you have a lot of energy and time. So you can still practice your languages, even if it's just like a little bit. Like you're meeting yourself where you're at. That's what we're doing in 2026, meeting yourself where you're at. But if you don't know what to put on yours and you just want to make it easy and steal from mine, I will gladly allow it. Lazy language learners, I'm here for you too. So here's mine. I'm too hot. Let me take this blanket off. Whose idea was it to wear a blanket while I film? So I made my study menu into like a full guide template thingy on Notion. This is called the Polyglot Playbook, and it has over, I think, 60 fun activities and methods that I use every single day. So I just sit down. I'm like, okay, today's French day, da-da-da-da. What do I want to do? Let's play language roulette, which is something that I made up, which I'm very proud of. The playbook, it's like the #1 reason that I was able to be more consistent in my target languages this year. So if you want to get a free mini version of it, or if you just want to go ahead and get the whole thing, I will leave links for you down in the description. My next tip for you is to stop procrasti-planning and just dive in, motherfucker. Because yes, planning can be a form of procrastination. Like if you're a person who is constantly, you know, spending a lot of time designing and like redesigning the perfect routine, always chasing that new perfect routine, you know, making lists of goals, researching for resources, da-da-da-da, like you're still not actually doing it. You realize it, right? You're avoiding it. It's an avoidance technique, which is okay. You're scared. It's fine to be scared, but like, let's just put the cards on the table. So by dancing around it and avoiding it and just planning and planning and planning, you're actually subconsciously making it a more daunting thing. Does that make sense? Because your brain is like, why are we avoiding this? Why don't we just do it? I don't know. I feel like this is part of a larger phenomenon, maybe with our generation, where we just don't want to do anything imperfectly anymore. And, you know, this is honestly a separate video, but I think it's because of social media and like people only showing perfect versions of themselves online. Like I feel like we've very much internalized that. Let that go. Because language learning is one of those things where you have to be okay and not enjoy, but like you have to be really chill and cool with doing things imperfectly, messy, doing it scared. I know that you guys have seen these like motivational posts where it's like, do it scared. Yes, do it scared. Planning, yes, it feels safe and it gives you the illusion of doing something, and it can give like, you know, a shadow or an illusion of progress, but you need to do something meaningful and like actually take that first step. Just learn how to introduce yourself, learn the alphabet. You don't need to be perfectly prepared or have the perfect anything for that matter, like resources, routine, whatever, to just start. Honestly, also being a beginner is the most fun anyways. It's the most fun you're gonna have learning the language because it's just like la-di-da, I'm a beginner, so why are you putting that off? Like, you know, just dive in and enjoy it. Take those baby steps, you know, learn to talk about your favorite fruits. That's one of my favorite things to start and do when I'm, you know, starting a new language. Make an online friend in like Brazil or Turkey or somewhere like that. I don't know, just go make a core memory, just start. And on the topic of just start, yes, I'm going to talk about speaking again. My third tip is to start speaking sooner rather than later. Once you finally do start learning this language that you've so desperately wanted to learn, don't put off speaking for too long. I'm not saying you have to speak on the first day, you know. I think speaking is a skill that people love to put off because it's like, oh, what if I make a mistake? What if I sound stupid? What if I sound stupid and I don't realize it? Shh. Repeat after me. Speaking is the only way to get better at speaking, and that's the T. And that's the Dorazol T. It's cold. Microdose practicing speaking even as a beginner and practice early, because just like the other thing, if you wait and put it off, you're subconsciously making it like a more daunting thing in your mind. So the more you put it off, the scarier it's going to be. You know, it's kind of like when you get a cat and you have to like desensitize them to water when they're a baby so that they don't freak out about it later. That's literally what I see speaking as a language learner. Crazy metaphor, but you know, I have to use cats to explain things. And something I would really suggest to beginners who still want to get that speaking practice is to take group classes, specifically on Lingoda. Lingoda is an online language school where you can book live classes 24/7 so you can practice speaking whenever it fits your schedule. Lingoda was a lifesaver for me this past summer because I wanted to, you know, start speaking and taking Italian classes because I was at the point where I was like understanding a lot because of my other Romance languages, but I needed to actually start speaking to get better at it.
Elysse, tu che dici? Come la possiamo ricostruire questa frase?
So posso usare le parole qui?
Sì.
Ok. Quando ero piccola andavo a scuola in bicicletta? In bici?
Perfetto.
What I love most about their classes is that they're really interactive. Like they're not just lectures where they just teach you stuff and then they're like, bye. It's very interactive. So the teachers, they're native level teachers, all of them. They ask you questions, and even if you're like, I don't know what you're saying, they will help you find the words. And if you want a little challenge for the new year, you can do their 60-day language learning challenge called the Lingoda Sprint. I've talked about the sprint so many times before, you guys know how it goes. So you either take a class every day or every other day in your target language for 2 months. And if you finish all the classes that you sign up for, normally you would just get half your money back or just more free classes. But if you're in the US or the UK and you join the sprint now, you can get 100% cash back. And on top of all that, you can get an extra $25 off if you use my code and the link in the description. So I will just leave that right there. Go check it out. And thank you so much to Lingoda for sponsoring the video. So my next tip is to study in what I'm calling like mini bursts. If you keep telling yourself, oh, I just need to find an hour to sit down and study my target language, it's never going to happen. You're going to keep waiting forever. So instead of chasing that like one perfect long study block, try squeezing in these tiny sessions, you know? Like just read one paragraph. Just listen to 5 minutes of a podcast. Like whatever you can fit. You don't have to go all in every single time that you study a language. You don't have to do the whole shebang, if that makes sense. Honestly, I would say that 95% of my personal language learning happens in these short little bursts. Like I'm not a person that likes to sit down for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours at a time and study. And I feel like if we were to add it all up, I feel like it adds up to more than those like long study blocks that, let's face it, they're few and far between. Also, the awesome thing about this like mini bursts approach is that you can apply it to anything that you want to do more of. For the past couple months, I haven't been reading anything because I was just waiting for like, you know, a nice long block of free time that I had to read. But I realized that was ridiculous, and so I ditched that, and I've started to read like 5 pages of my book every time that I wanted to scroll on my phone. And suddenly I had so much time out of nowhere. That's suspicious. It's almost like being on your phone and scrolling all day is like stealing all your time and sucking the joy out of your life. No, that can't be it. It is. Anyways, 5 to 10 minutes is really all you need to like meaningfully interact with your target language. And my last tip for you why am I slouching? Hello? Posture check. Everybody sit up. My last and final tip for you before the new year is to anchor new habits to routines that you already have. So we all know that like trying to start a new habit from scratch is hard, right? I feel like we often try to adopt new habits by like overhauling your entire life and like stacking in like 10 new habits into your routine that you never do, which feels unnatural, and then you obviously don't keep it up for more than a week. So like what makes adopting a new habit easier is attaching it to something that you already do anyways, like brushing your teeth or cooking dinner or folding laundry. And I was talking about this a couple videos ago. Like there used to be times where I would realize I hadn't studied languages or even thought about languages for like 5 days. And then I would realize it and I'd be like, damn, I haven't made any time. But when like you make an association between 2 habits, it becomes automatic and very effortless, and it's no longer something that you have to like make time for because it's just there. Which obviously, no surprise, it helps you be a lot more consistent. I recently started putting on a language podcast in whatever my target language is that day when I'm brushing my teeth and like washing up in the morning. And yeah, I used to hate folding laundry, but now it's one of my favorite things because I get to put on like German TV while I fold my laundry. So just think of how you can like slip little bits of language learning and like microdose it and attach it to things that you already do. In closing, 2026, bring it on, bitch. You got this, okay? And honestly, I think the theme of most of these tips that I was just passing you, the thread that's running through all of them them is that you don't have to be perfect. Do things imperfectly, do it in little bursts, do it messily, and find ways and find these like nooks and crannies where you can fit language learning into your life instead of, you know, thinking that you have to be this like perfect language learning with the perfect routines and the perfect goals and whatever. That's just like, it's always been antithetical to how I study languages. I am the messiest language learner alive, so I don't know. I still managed to get it done, and this is how I do it. So cheers, I'll see you guys in the new year, and happy holidays. Bye.